Hi VC, James Griffiths, the Vinyl Professor, here with you on this Friday afternoon, and we're here to talk about the Nobel Prize winning musician Bob Dylan. Amazing announcement yesterday. Bob Dylan has won the Nobel Prize for Literature, which was just came completely out of the blue for me. I had no idea that he was even a contender. When I first heard the news, I was surprised, although in a way I wasn't surprised because, Bob Dylan has had such an amazing reputation down the years, not just from, rock fans, whatever, but from the literary establishment. But even so, this is a pretty major achievement, for somebody who's never written, a novel, or he's never really written poems or plays or anything. Really, he's just written songs, apart from one slightly weird book that he wrote in the 1960s that never really got finished. So I thought it was great. My first reaction was to go, yeah, brilliant. Dylan's genius has long been recognised, but I think now it will be acknowledged even further. Some people will probably, some people in the literary establishment will probably protest about it, but in general, I just think this is a really, really amazing thing to have happened. And it got me thinking, who are the other great rock lyricists? Because clearly Dylan is not alone. So I've pulled a list together, and this list is by no means comprehensive, of other lyricists who I think are great. I've always loved words in songs. I know there are some people who, when they listen to music, they don't pay much attention to the lyrics, or they say that the lyrics don't mean much to them. It's true in certain kinds of music, but I've always been drawn towards, songs and songwriters where you can kind of understand the words and you know where the lyricist is coming from and he's got a particular take on things. And right back from when I was a young child, I used to focus in, on words. So this is my, I've chosen 10 lyric writers, and we'll just see what we think of them. The first one I'd like to talk about briefly is Syd Barrett from Pink Floyd. He was a really, really interesting, funny lyricist, wrote some very surreal, great things. I'm just going to read a little excerpt from one of his best known songs. I don't think I've written it down because I know it so well. I've got a bike, you can ride it if you like. It's got a basket, a bell and things that rings to make it look good. I'd give it to you if I could, but I borrowed it. Quirky genius. Syd Barrett, top guy. This next one may come as a bit of a surprise in some quarters because people don't often think of them as being a band with particularly great lyrics. However, I think the original lead singer of this band was a genuine rock poet. We're talking about Bon Scott in AC/DC. Absolutely great lyric writer. Here's an excerpt of his work. This is song Down Payment Blues from the album Power Age. Sitting in a Cadillac, listening to my radio. Susie baby, get one in. Tell me where she wanna go. I'm living in a nightmare. She's looking like a wet dream. I got myself a Cadillac, but I can't afford the gasoline. Got myself a steady job, some responsibility. Can't even feed my cat. Social Security. Top stuff. Bon Scott. Genius. Next we have a more well-known name in terms of being a lyricist. For some people, probably up there with Bob Dylan. This is Leonard Cohen. Now let's see which of the lyrics I pulled out for him. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. His most famous song, I do believe. Leonard Cohen. Timeless genius. Next is a person I've spoken about recently on my channel. Chris Difford from Squeeze. Very, very, very underrated lyric writer. One of my all-time favourite lyrics of his is from their song Tempted, which begins, I bought a toothbrush, some toothpaste, a flannel for my face, pyjamas, a hairbrush, new shoes and a case. I said to my reflection, let's get out of this place. Past the church and the steeple, the laundry on the hill, the billboards on the buildings, memories of it still keep calling and calling, but forget it all, I know I will. That breaks my heart, that lyric. When he mentions the laundry on the hill, the hairs on the back of my neck go up. What a guy. Chris Difford. She unscrews the top of the new whiskey bottle and shuffles about in her candlelit hovel. Like some kind of witch with blue fingers in mittens, she smells like the cat and the neighbours she sickens. Peachy. Okay, next we have, interesting one, Don Van Vleet, of Captain Beefheart fame. Really great lyricist, very kind of, surreal. My smile is stuck, I cannot go back to your frownland. My spirit's made up of the ocean and the sky and the sun and the moon. In all my eyes I can see. That's Frownland from Trackmass Replica. This album is Lick My Decals Off Baby. Another song from Trackmass is Dachau Blues. War 1 was balls and powder, blood and snow. War 2 rained death and showed in skeletons dancing and screaming and dying in the ovens, cough and smoke and dying by the dozens down in Dachau Blues. Captain Beefheart. David Byrne, of Talking Heads fame. Now, which was the song that I identified as being a good one for him? Don't worry about the government. I see the clouds move across the sky. I see the wind that moves the clouds away. It moves the clouds over by the building. I pick the building that I want to live in. I smell the pine trees and the peaches in the woods. I see the pine cones that fall by the highway. That's the highway that goes to the building. I pick the building that I want to live in. It's over there, it's over there. My building has every convenience. It's going to make life easy for me. It's going to be easy to get things done. I will relax along with my loved ones. There's always a slight feeling of unease in David Byrne's songs. He's singing about something and you think there's something not quite right here. Is this guy an axe murderer or something? Very original lyricist. Next, we have an absolute undisputed genius of English popular song. We have Paddy Malone from Prefab Sprout. Now, it was so hard to pick one of his songs because they're all absolutely amazing. The one I've picked is this one, Farron Young, which is actually from this album, Steve McQueen. Antiques, every other sentiment's an antique, as obsolete as warships in the Baltic. I'm driving on a straight road, it never alters. And the radio serenades but doesn't falter. You offer infrared instead of sun. You offer paper spoons and bubblegum. I'd say that was very Dylan-esque. Prefab Sprout, Paddy Malone, surreal yet great. I mean, the music in Prefab Sprout makes everything peachy, but the words on their own are great. That's what makes a great lyricist. You can read the words independently of the music. Lorde Cole, another underrated English songwriter. Hey, I was walking my bag through a 20-story non-stop snowstorm. Pirelli calendar girls wrestling in body lotion. My head's swimming with poetry and prose. Excuse me one more minute while I powder my nose. That's the song My Bag, taken from his album Lorde Cole and the Commotions, Mainstream. Two more. I think another one like Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan. Lou Reed, an absolute poet laureate of rock. So many songs I could have picked for this. I'm tired, I'm weary, I could sleep for 1,000 years, 1,000 dreams that would awake me, different colours, made of tears. Fantastic. And we'll finish with another great British lyric writer. This is Brian Ferry from Roxy Music. I bought you mail order. my plain rapper baby. Your skin is like vinyl, the perfect companion. You float my new pool, deluxe and delightful. Inflatable doll, my role is to serve you. Disposable darling, can't throw you away now. Immortal and life-size, my breath is inside you. Brilliant. Okay, folks, there we go. Bob Dylan, Poet Laureate, Nobel Prize winner, literary champion, hero. He's won the Nobel Prize for Literature. I think we should all salute him. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Bye.